Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us again on our iCreditHelp video podcast. We have a brand new episode here. I'm really pumped up about the guy I have in here. 30-plus year auto expert. You know, he knows everything about the automotive industry. If you're looking to get a car, get a refinance, if you're trying to understand what to do with a repossession, if you just don't know how to buy a damn car, or you're scared of car dealerships or anything auto-related, you know, Ken Jarman with TurboPass is the man.
There's a reason to be scared.
Yeah, is there? Yeah, tell us.
Well, I mean, it's just like any other business that has, you know, prices that they can make it. You know, you can make more money on one car than another. And you know, there's other, like your business or the credit repair. You know, the way the products are priced are pretty, you know, they don't fluctuate. Yeah, they're simple.
It's service related.
Right, it's service related. A little bit of quid pro quo, like you tell them what you do, and that's
the deal.
There's just so much, you know, opportunity to do good or bad.
Oh yeah,
in any sale.
Everybody's scared of the damn car dealership. Everybody's scared of getting ripped off.
Yeah,
you know. So you know. At the end of the day, you know, technology's telling people, hey, listen, man, Carvana, you know, they'll just deliver your car there, and you won't have to deal with anyone, and everything will be fine. You know, the app. So I think this episode, if you're looking at this episode, what you're gonna get, how to buy a car, what to look out for, stuff like that's gonna be talked about in the show. Real talk.
Yep.
Cool. You know, Ken, you know, you've owned a credit repair company.
Yes.
You're well thought of in the credit industry. You're speaking at a upcoming conference in Austin. What's that conference?
Yeah, the Credit Summit 6.0.
Yeah,
which is put on by John Alzheimer. Who's a really, really fabulous, knowledgeable guy.
He's well known. John Alzheimer. Google him.
Yeah, and Chad Kushner, who I don't know if you've met Chad or not.
I watched a little video on those guys. Yeah,
but he owns a credit repair company in Ohio.
Oh yeah,
and you know, good credit repair company. What I would consider a good, because every industry has good and bad.
Matt Listro, right? With Credit Admiral, the software.
Yeah.
He's in some videos there. And there's another gentleman that's with the Credit Pros or something like that. Something like that.
Kevin.
He's a badass. No?
Yeah.
I think it's Kevin, right?
Jason Kaplan.
Kaplan, yes. Yeah. He's a badass.
So, yeah, he is a badass.
Yeah, he's awesome. I watched him a little bit. I'm like, certified credit badass. You know, maybe he should come on the show. I don't know. But, you know, you're a badass, and that's why they have you speaking over there.
Yeah, I mean, I've managed to drop enough nuggets that, you know, I got some attention, and, you know, it's a subject I'm totally interested in, and I'm, you know, exploring it from a different angle. You know, being out here with, you know, not owning a car dealership, not owning a finance company, looking at it from a consumer perspective also. I feel like I got a good, you know, whole
you know the ins and outs, you know the angles that they're trying to hit consumers at, you know what consumers need to look out for, you know the difference between a credit sale and how to get things deleted, credit reports. That's what you trained people for a long time, a lot of credit repair companies, my company, on how to attack those. Now you've turned your attention to some exciting new stuff with core finance, with like TurboPass. You know, tell us what you're doing with TurboPass, and we'll circle back around to what we were talking about earlier. Yeah.
Okay, cool. With TurboPass, it is a so in the auto industry, dealers don't trust customers, customers don't trust dealers, lenders don't trust anybody, because much like the mortgage industry, before it was highly regulated, there were some things going on with, you know, misrepresentations and things like that.
A little fraud.
That's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah. Fraudulent activity.
Fraudulent activity.
The mortgage business, we used to call that in 2006 fraud ass. Yeah.
Fraud ass.
Yeah, when you were doing SEVA and NINA loans, no asset, no income. No income, no asset was called NINA. And then SEVA was stated income, verified asset. People were doing that for teachers for like $500,000 homes. And, you know, you walk down the hallway.
You put it in a package, it's fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah, fraud. Anyway, yeah, thank God that's changed. But, tell us about TurboPass and how it's eliminating auto fraud.
Well, the auto fraud is a problem, but the problem that the consumer has because of it is that the whole process gets slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
If someone's FICO score is lower than 640, 620, they're going to be asked to prove income, and likely, and the process is just going to be very slow, and they're not going to get a solid answer from the dealer quickly. They're not going to be able to take delivery of the car for a while. They may experience problems a week later when the finance company can't verify something or is having trouble, even when everything's legit. So TurboPass basically just says, hey, if it's doing what Rocket Mortgage did, push button, get mortgage.
Yeah.
So just prove your income, and we'll make this fast. That's what
in theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, from what I understand, they speed up the closing by a couple weeks or something compared to the traditional. No?
Nah, it's just the Rocket on a damn commercial, and it's Rocket Mortgage. It's very, very slick marketing.
Well,
that's all it is. It's actually slower than some of the people I work with in the mortgage business, but I would say your TurboPass product is better than Rocket Mortgage in terms of what you're doing with the auto industry, because it's literally they get a TurboPass account and they sign up for it, link their bank account, and boom.
Yeah, boom. You can now. I mean, there's nothing like being a cash buyer walking into a dealership, having power like that, but negotiating power. But if you're walking into a dealership with something the dealer needs and wants, if I got something you want, then I'm paying attention to you, right? They know they have a qualified customer basically when they walk in with a TurboPass report, and that's what they want. They spend a lot of time agonizing over whether they do have a qualified customer in other circumstances.
Yeah. Especially, I heard that under 600 FICOs, you got to pay a point to the lender to take the deal. Over 600, they pay you. I heard just different things. I never did core finance. The majority of my experiences as a mortgage loan officer, it's a different animal altogether. Yeah. In one aspect, mortgages are highly regulated compared to an auto deal. But then in another aspect, people buy a hell of a lot more cars. So you should really learn about the auto, finance perspective and stuff. So at the end of the day, what's the easiest way for them to check out TurboPass?
So as a consumer, if you go to myturbopass.com, you can get your own TurboPass code, we call them, because basically part of the benefit to the consumers, they don't have to carry around a bunch of private papers. They don't have to give private papers to a salesperson, a car salesperson, and have that paperwork fly around the dealership, which I could tell you, at a large dealership, if you walk in with a bunch of private papers, it's going to be in about 8 different offices.
Yeah. And Social Security numbers are typically on there, birthdays, your address,
Yeah, so it's a way to, and it's new. I think you're going to see a lot more of this in credit, and in data, because people are becoming aware of data and things. Consumers are going to have a little more control over their information. Even, in this case, it's not mandated by the government that we give the consumer the power to do this, but we do it proactively before. In other words, we're giving someone to, control over their own data.
Yeah.
You don't have to hand it over loosely to somebody.
Yeah. It's almost like, if you're using Apple computers, it's like a keychain. It keeps all your passwords there. TurboPass is like a private way to share your income to get finance for a core.
Yeah, and it makes things easy. And it's not currently. It has nothing. It may not influence the actual price of the credit, but I think it'll eventually get there. It basically just speeds up the process at the highest friction point,
which is income.
Which is income when your score on a car deal is less than 620, 640. It's income.
I think people have questions like, what in mortgage, for instance, the bands of credit work like this. At 580, a lot of lenders can get an FHA, first-time home buyer loan done, and then every 20 points on a FICO mortgage score, things get better for the consumer, such as at 600. They get a better interest rate, for instance, maybe, or a cheaper funding fee. And then at 620, they qualify with many lenders for down payment assistance, which makes it a zero down FHA loan. And normally an FHA loan, for people wondering about mortgages, this is what this podcast is about, but an FHA loan is normally 3.5% total out of pocket. So they pretty much pay for that with down payment assistance. So every 20 points, 580, 600, 620, 640, 660, when you get to 660 and 680, it goes into conventional lending, and those are the better, cheaper loans for your well-qualified borrowers, and then it tops out at like 740 these days and 720. So how does the auto industry work? Tell me, or tell the people watching this, like, if they're worried, first off, how do they look at credit scores at a car dealership?
Yeah.
Is there bands like that?
There are bands like that, but they're, the dealer, if you're going into the dealer to get your car financing done, then they're the ones that with sort of a clear view of those bands. Mm-hmm. And so you definitely want to educate yourself about the pricing that's going on with different auto loans. Mm-hmm. This is the subject that I love to talk about.
Yeah.
The fact that
Bam.
that 20% of the auto financing that's done isn't an actual loan. It's a credit sale. It's a retail installment sale. It's a different animal in reality and the way that it's regulated. But when you go into a car dealership, I would suggest you get pre-qualified. You find out, hey, for my score, this is about what I should expect. Mm-hmm. And you can get pre-qualified for a loan by directly applying with someone, but it's going to put a hit on your credit.
Yeah. It's a shopping window.
If you have good credit, I would do that, and then you can walk into the dealership and find out if they can beat it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I guess what I would say is, for people looking at TurboPass, if you're a car dealership, what's TurboPass going to do for you at the car dealership? Because that's a big deal for you. You've been telling me some great things. What is it TurboPass going to do for a car dealership? Is it going to slow up the deals, or is it going to help them?
Well, it's absolutely going to help them. It's going to help them at the highest level that I think it matters, is just cash flow. Mm-hmm. So the dealer has. This is another problem that TurboPass solves. It's just big in the industry. So a dealer has a floor plan. Mm-hmm. So he owes money on all those cars. You see 1,000 cars at the dealership. Okay. He owes money on all of them, right? Mm-hmm. He's got a line of credit for each one.
Yes.
When he sells that car on a Friday night,
yes,
and the car leaves the lot, he owes that balance to the floor plan company who's financing the inventory. Mm-hmm. Now he has to basically wait to get funded. Mm-hmm. So using TurboPass will get you funded next day.
Wow. Yeah. So they're going to get money quicker to turn their inventory
over. Their deal's going to get funded.
Yes.
Right away.
Yeah. That's super important.
Super important.
Because they only have so big of a credit line. Define floor plan for the novice, the layman. Define floor plan.
It's just a way to finance inventory.
Yeah. So you have these companies out there that offer a lot of money to a car dealer to have all these cars, right?
Yeah. The auctions offer floor plans financing. Mm-hmm. The captives, what we call a captive, which is like Ford Motor Credit, Chrysler, those guys offer floor plans to those new car stores. Mm-hmm.
And that's what allows the car dealer to have an inventory, right?
Yeah. So he says, send me 10.
And that's a cost to them.
Yeah,
every month.
It's a cost for because they pay a price for that. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's not free.
And it affects the end user price for the core.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's why they turn their inventory in 60 days, is they don't want to keep paying, and the floor plan is due. They have to pay it off in 60 days.
So they owe money on these cars, and they have to move them.
Yeah, they got to move them.
And they got to get them. The faster they can get their money, the better it is for them in a lot of ways. It can lower prices for end users. It can allow them maybe to get bigger lines of credit for the bigger floor plan, that type of stuff.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about earlier when you're saying, the dealer wants this. He wants the ability to get funded fast and have security that he'll get funded. Mm-hmm. And you're bringing him that.
Yeah.
If you use their TurboPass report, and you're speeding up the process for yourself.
Yeah. So do you want to say who some of the big companies are that use TurboPass, or do you feel comfortable with that? Yeah.
Sure.
I know you talk about some huge companies, very reputable companies.
Well, yeah, I can't go into the ones that we're about to pilot with, which are coming on soon. But I can tell you here in Austin, Charles Bond Toyota uses TurboPass.
Nice.
What's her name? Sames Auto Group.
Okay.
Who's the oldest dealer in Texas. They have 14 locations in Texas.
SAMES.
SAMES.
It's almost Sam like me, right?
Yeah.
It's Sames.
Red Barn Motors is the name of the dealership on William Cannon. Capital Chevrolet.
Nice.
Trying to think here in Austin. Honda of San Marcos.
Mm-hmm.
And these are, the ones that I think at first have paid attention to us are sort of the more accoladed. I would call them dealers.
Yeah.
They're high volume. They got good customer service scores and things.
Mm-hmm. I know Dan Covert, little Dan Covert, from a long time ago. I think I might have him on the show. Actually, I'm gonna go visit him at the core dealership and shoot a spot for vehicles and credit and stuff. I think I'm gonna hit him up. I don't know if that means anything, but Covert's a huge dealer, right?
Yeah, they got a bunch of locations. I got a good friend at Covert Bastrop does financer.
Oh, sweet. TJ. Yeah, that's awesome. He's
a badass
cool.
too.
I bet. if he's in the car business and he's made a career out of it, certified badass. I mean, it's hard being a car dealer, car salesman. In my mind, I've been in the business of finance, which I still consider a form of sales. You still have to communicate and educate in order to close the transaction. Mm-hmm. So I think car dealership salesmen are very, they must have to work hard, 60-hour, weeks, and the best of the best always last in that. And I have a lot of respect for car salesmen.
They do bust their ass, and they learn a lot, about negotiation.
When you find a good one, you don't want to go find another one. When you find a guy that you jive with, I find that's good. Yeah, that's important.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what is some of the negative stuff you've heard about TurboPass, like that you've had to overcome? That you were like, what? And you just had to explain it. Like, tell me some pushback. Give me an example.
I mean, from the dealer's point of view, it isn't. The pushback has been inaction in the sense that they like the concept, but they're scared to be, the first ones to try it.
Yeah.
And it's something new. It's something that is dealing with sensitive information, your banking information. Mm-hmm. And so, that's the real pushback is, why should I trust TurboPass with my banking credentials or from the dealer's point of view, they're always asking, are customers going to do this?
Mm-hmm. You have any statistics on that? Any percentages? Anything you want to share?
I mean, our best users are 90%. Connect their data just because they want to make the process go fast. Okay. And it's usually self-employed people who are going to use bank statements anyway. Yeah. To prove their income.
A lot of successful self-employed people that don't want to go through issues. They just want to buy the car. They know they make the money. TurboPass allows that to happen. Dealer gets his floor plan cost paid for next day. Boom. That's a wrap on TurboPass, basically, right? You got anything else you want to share on TurboPass?
And it's money. It's money to the business owner, right? Mm-hmm. If he doesn't have a car, he's not going to make any money.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He needs a car fast. He doesn't. Yes, he mess around.
I think at the end of the day, it allows the lenders to feel more confident on their decisions. They get to see that the person is making money and they're not just fibbing because their FICO score is high. And there's a lot of people with very high FICO scores that don't have the proper income to buy a car. And, go to a dealership that doesn't use TurboPass if that's the case. However, for dealerships and people that know that they need this TurboPass and they get a lot of pushback, it's a way to make the process happen.
Let me tell you another scenario because we just talked to someone that had this issue, and this is something that TurboPass solves, is if you have someone who's sold their software company and has $1 million in the bank and has no income.
Yes.
They have $1 million in the bank. They have no income.
Yes.
And they go to the dealership, and the dealer asks them, how much money, how much do you make? Mm-hmm. The guy says, I don't make anything. I make the interest off or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. We had that happen the other day. A person was trying to get a mortgage, and they could put 60% down. They still had like $2 million in the bank, and the mortgage company denied them for the mortgage because there's no income. They had taken a year and a half to go live in the Bahamas or Virgin Islands or something.
But this is another TurboPass, use case,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you show the bank that, the dealer is going to sort of do what he thinks is right, because and almost make the decision for the lender, because he knows his lender,
Mm-hmm.
or he thinks he knows his lender is going to
Yeah.
say no. But if the dealer could deliver an authentic report that says this guy's got $1 million in the bank, are you going to turn this deal down?
Yeah.
I mean, give me a break.
Yeah.
You guys are going to do the deal.
It's all about, you're able to deliver more accurate information to close more deals easier and faster for people. That's what TurboPass is, hence the name.
And
you pass, TurboPass, fast. TurboPass,
like a
fast
Disney pass.
AF. Yeah, TurboPass. So, let's circle back around to, you used to teach a lot of people about repossession removal in the credit industry.
Yep.
We use some of your knowledge every day here at my credit repair company. And it's been very beneficial. And you hinted earlier about this credit sale thing. We don't want people to glaze over about the credit sale. But at the end of the day, if you could dumb it down or make it simplistic for people to realize if they got a repo, what can happen?
If it's a repo, the very first thing that I pay attention to is, was this a sale? Was the debt originated by a sale, or was it originated by a loan?
Mm-hmm. There's a big definition between a sale and a loan. So
yeah, just regulations and things. There's no difference really until something goes wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in terms of there's a big difference in our ability to use the information to get it removed.
Yeah,
is what you've taught us.
So when something goes wrong,
mm-hmm.
then there's more consumer rights. There's more protections for the customer. There's less. There's all kinds of implications. There's licensing issues. There's statute of limitations in different states. Texas doesn't have that issue.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're 4 years on all loans and debt and sales. But in New York, you can be sued on a loan for up to 5 years, but on a sale, it's like 4. Mm-hmm.
And for people that aren't familiar with statute of limitations, it's how long they can collect on the debt with little to zero contact. And SOL stands for shit out of luck. If you're not going to collect on it,
If you're within the SOL,
yeah. But anyway, at the end of the day, that's been beneficial to us. The thing you mentioned earlier is, I think, the most exciting thing that's coming on, and we're hoping to get this podcast published before you're speaking at the event. So tell us about the Credit Summit.
Yeah,
that's exciting. I wasn't invited,
man.
or I'm not going to pay them to go there.
You're not going to
ever.
Pay them to go.
So,
no, when I first got in the industry, credit repair industry, I was looking for education, like good education, because there's a lot of bad education out there.
Yeah.
And I found John Alzheimer. I found the event.
Mm-hmm.
The first event it reminded me of a 20 group in the auto industry, where you get together with 20 other dealers. It was a small room. It wasn't huge. You had really serious-minded people sitting next to you that had experience in the business, and you could talk to them about stuff. So I got a lot of education from going to that event. Yeah,
a lot of big hitters go there. What I've learned is about these events, if you are operating a credit repair company or if you're in the credit services industry, I've gotten a lot of value out of CreditCon, Matt Listro. That was like the eye-opener
that one I haven't
for me.
gone to, and I would love to go to it.
Dude, in 2017, Matt Listro, CreditCon, Las Vegas, man, that was the most fun event, most informative event. I got partners and new vendors from that event. Now, I recently was invited to speak at Credit Expo, which is CRC's event, Credit Repair Cloud, which is a software company we use. And that was even more informative because it was just a more recent one that I've been to.
Sure.
And the format was, really nice. It was like 30-minute spots on all of the folks that were successful. So Credit Expo was awesome. I heard they're coming to Dallas in 2020. Daniel Rosen and Keenan run CRC, and Tan May is the technical engineer there, or a design architect, whatever the title he is. I think CTO. It's a very smart group of people, very appreciative of those guys. And then now there's a Credit Fest, which is new, another informative
that was in Miami. That was in my hometown.
Miami.
I wanted to go to that one.
Yeah, I wanted to go to that one too. My wife just was like, "Listen, brother, you ain't gonna be on a yacht while I'm pregnant. That's what
why,
she said, unless I'm with you.
That's why I didn't go to Credit Con, because it was in Vegas. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to fucking Vegas.
Yeah. Credit Con in Vegas is the best, dude. They moved it to Washington, D.C. at one point. I'm like, I ain't going there. If they would have just
moved it to D.C., I'd go.
You would? I just didn't want to go at the time, but I like Credit Con. I like Credit Expo, and I think Derek Harper, Senior, runs Credit Fest and the Credit Repair University. He's really, really good. I've never met a guy that gives so much and gets so much shit talked about him as opposed to Derek, but he's really a good guy. He's super smart with automations, and he's a true badass in the credit repair space for people, and I like that guy. I wish I knew him a little bit better. Andre Coakley's a guy that we met
cool
together.
Guy.
He's really, really cool. They call him Dre for a reason, Andre, right?
Man, he's cool. He's
a cool cat.
He's a
cool cat.
He's a very cool cat.
So I like those guys, and I want to do a shout out to those guys, just to pay respect. The other thing about this credit summit, John Alzheimer. I mean, that guy is he's hard to get a hold of because he's been around the block a long time. I mean, he's been on the show with Larry King, and Larry King's he
did an infomercial with Larry King.
Credit Secrets. I have the book.
That's
I got it.
That's what this reminded me of, actually.
Yeah?
I was like, hey,
Credit
this
Secrets?
is cool.
Yeah.
Like
it's a secret.
The 30-minute infomercial.
It's a secret. Get the book. No. But I liked it. I liked it. I just think that, they get real technical, and you can find those guys, GTS it. Google that shit. John Alzheimer, not Alzheimer's. Not
Alzheimer.
not
Alzheimer.
It's Alzheimer.
Sounds German. Very
It
German.
is German. Yeah. Alzheimer. Anyway, I wonder where that guy is. He should hit me up. But he'll be in Austin, and I've heard that I think it's $1,500 to go to the event, and they're taking everybody out to the Speedway, brother. And you're going to go, and I want some kind of, give me some video or something, dude. And I want to see how fast those cars go. They're 60-mile-an-hour cars.
Sounds fun.
That actually almost had me. I was like, man, I want to go do that. They're going to bust them all out over there.
And they're going to probably, have the space to themselves or something.
I thought about doing it, and I signed up for the newsletter, and I just said, man, it just doesn't make sense. I'm going to pay to go over there and live here in Pflugerville. It's too close, and I'm just not ready for it yet. Not ready for it yet.
I think you'd get a lot of benefit out of it just because I know you'd go in with a purpose, and you'd extract the value out of it. I think.
Extract it.
Yeah, you would get it.
Anyway, funnel it down.
You would aggregate it.
Yes. So at the end of the day, man, what's fucked off about the credit repair industry? Tell me about it. It's a shitty industry. There's a lot of people that don't do good. They don't care about people.
Man, I could tell you from when I was a lender and I would get these letters, the dispute letters.
Mm-hmm.
From the lender's perspective, that gets letters all the time, repeatedly on the same customer or something like that. Well, when I was a smaller finance company, not a big one, big ones probably don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Little ones, it was just a lot to keep up with, and it didn't seem, genuine.
So what'd you do? You actually
I would process them. Sometimes we didn't have time to deal with it.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't respond, and it was a deletion.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happened.
Exactly.
And it depended on who was working. We actually didn't have the newer system, the one on the internet. What's it called?
eOscar?
Yeah, we didn't have eOscar. So we
That's
were
like
still
a $5 car wash, so it's shit.
We were still getting, mail. We'd get these yellow letters that forget what it's called, but it basically disputes the account.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
you're talking about from the lender perspective, eOscar. I got you. Yeah. All right, cool.
We didn't have eOscar.
Yeah, I got you.
To respond or to, we didn't want to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, I mean,
yeah.
Talk about an industry that's shady as the
is what?
The credit, the bureaus.
The bureaus. I mean, they just had it. Yeah.
I mean, you said, they make you pay to give them information
that they already have on you. Like they have all the shit on you and me, and it's like, give us some money to give us stuff on you.
Well, yeah,
and they're using it to make money.
But as a lender, like I have this big data file that I pay them to give them. I mean, it's a phenomenal business model. And then they're going to take it and sell it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fantastic.
It's like almost, I don't know, mafia. It's like, hey, give us the data. You know, hey, let's talk about this data breach, bro. Equifax, $700 million. Seems kind of cheap, bro. I'm kind of like, $700 million. It sounds like a lot, but that ain't a lot. All these people, all their data got jacked. You know, you can call them up right now and get 125 big ones.
Is that right?
Not $1,000.
$125. But I don't know. Can you get that?
People are calling up saying, you know, fuck the $125. Give me 125 points.
Right.
And they're getting hung up on.
It would definitely.
Yeah, and now they actually had a published report saying that they got so many people calling about their $125 that they're not going to give any, or like something weird like that. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, it doesn't.
It's a bureau. They got hacked.
Man, I was. Yeah, I mean, it is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's such an old industry.
Equifax is my lowest credit score of the three. It kind of bugs me. I'm kind of glad it happened to him. But anyway,
I think Equifax is the worst out of the three.
You do? Why? Just personal preference?
No, I know. I mean,
Experian
from experience.
Experian to me is the hardest to deal with. TransUnion is the nicest. Everybody would be better off if they use TU scores. I don't know why that is though, right? I think TU is the nicest. They have the highest scores.
No nonsense. This is my perspective. TransUnion's kind of no nonsense. Mm-hmm. They stay in their lane. They they do what they do. Experian's trying to Experian is trying to be innovative. Comes across as being innovative, which I think they are. But they have obviously a serious marketing campaign.
Oh yeah.
To romance, consumers.
Experian Boost.
Experian is not a new company. I mean, these things have been around.
And then Equifax, they bring out the flipping scrolls like we don't know.
And then Equifax just doesn't process disputes. They just don't.
They don't give a damn. Anyway, I don't know what's going on, but we overcome that for our clients, thank God. It's called hit them with enough factual data, hit them with enough knowledge, and then they start to think, wait a second, this consumer either knows what they're doing or they have hired someone that knows what they're doing.
And there's stuff going on about that too. A little bit.
Man, I saw that some cop has got a prison sentence for 20 years for filing false police reports, which thank God I never took the advice of a million different credit repair trainers. Yeah, file a false police report that they stole. I'm like, dude, that doesn't even seem legit. I was in the mortgage business for long enough to know what happened to some of those dudes and the time that they served. That I'm like, dude, we can't get it off the right way, with using the right procedures and referencing the right laws based on the FCRA, then I'm not going to file false police reports, man. Go to some other credit repair company, because if they're willing to play those games with a big entity like that, then they're probably playing games with your payment. They're probably playing games with what they're telling you.
It tells you a lot about who they are, for sure.
I just think consumers want to. Sometimes they call and they're like, I feel like the reason why we've been successful with my credit repair company is that we major in the truth. We're like PhDs in the truth, not piling it high and deeper either. I'm talking about we're piling it high and deeper in the truth. We don't have a BS, a bullshit degree in the truth. It's we just tell people the truth. Like, listen, you're gonna come in here, we're gonna get some things deleted, but nobody ever got good credit because they deleted something. One 30-day late's like a 50-point reduction on a FICO score. One. So if you come into us and you got 10, 20, 30, 45 negative accounts, and we're 70% effective with getting it deleted, which is a high number. 70% is a high number, folks. 80% is a high number. Wouldn't you agree? That still means you got 20% negative stuff on there.
You're still on a derogatory scorecard, and probably a major derogatory scorecard.
Yeah, but keeping it simple and real, you're not going to get great credit just by focusing on deletions alone. It's 30, 40% of the solution. It's a way to get better credit, but the way to really do it is to know how The formula works with FICO, not Vantage. It's another discussion. We'll have that next, in our next podcast. It's a whole other thing. But FICO, look at myfico.com is a great place for anybody to just go check the real deal. That's what all of our education is based on, myFICO.
Yeah, it's awesome. There's a simulator on there.
Yes.
Have you done that?
It's fantastic, yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You can get a range of your credit score. You don't even have to buy the FICO.
I wish it would tell me where I was going to be in 2 years, just in all areas, but it simulates just the FICO score, you know what I'm saying? But I like myFICO. It's the only place on the planet that you can get accurate mortgage scores that don't lower your credit score ever. Even though there's a shopping window on mortgage FICO scores, and there's a shopping window on auto FICO scores, you can get those scores because it's a personal request by a consumer. There's no hit to the credit score. That's awesome. I think myFICO is like a thing in and of itself. And we always recommend our clients go there only after they get deletions and only after they've added to their profile. So the things we do at our credit repair company is we do credit coaching. That's 60-70% of the solution. What does that mean? You get an expert like myself, my trained staff, that tells you all the right moves to get your credit to go up. Gives you all the right answers.
You're saying if you go to myfico.com, you can get your credit score for a particular, like, give me the mortgage 2.0
right on their site. You get 28 FICO scores, 28. So I can give them to
free.
You. They're not free.
Okay.
No, that's the thing about them. Yeah.
You got to pay for FICO.
They know their stuff. Yeah, they know their stuff's valuable.
Sure.
That's why we don't take our clients straight there and make them pay $30-$40. We do like one of the free reports, or we use Identity IQ. Scott Herman, if you're watching this, it's awesome. Identity IQ is our favorite credit monitoring company. They use Vantage 3.0, but at least they're upfront about it, and it's a simple system. I love Identity IQ. They protect your identity. We get account numbers to target. We can click a button for the consumer to figure out what's changed. It's $19.99 with our special price, and we just trust them a lot. And I know Scott, the CEO there, and I like him. You ever met Scott?
I don't know if I've met Scott.
He's a cool guy, cool cat.
I
met him at CreditCon in 2017, and that's how long that was important about that event. Yeah. So where do you see yourself going in this industry? Because we need to wrap up this episode. But where do you see yourself at this credit summit, and what are you going to talk about over there? And where do you see yourself going after that?
I'm going to touch on some things that I did last year when I spoke there, which was talking about some credit reporting issues, or at least the consumer disclosure issues where they, characterized the thing wrong, and and then just some common errors that credit repair companies can find, because that's the audience that's there. They're looking for things they can use to help the deletion rate. So I'll talk about that, and then I'm going to talk about I've been to 2 auto finance industry events this year, and learned a lot about new things that are coming out in credit and in auto credit, and learned about what companies are starting to do and play with, and so I'll talk about that.
That's cool. So how do you like the format here, iCreditHelp podcast? What do you think about it?
Dude, I love it.
You do?
You changed this whole office, right? Was this your office?
I sat in this office in front of a big white banner. You can check out Texas Real Estate Networking, or just we shot some stuff. We felt like it wasn't as cutting edge and as comfortable, and we didn't want to rehearse things. We wanted to be authentic, real, so that people knew that they weren't getting marketed to, that they were getting honest thought, authentic conversations, and fresh feedback. That's why cool. I got you in here. I trust you to have that conversation with me, because it's all about helping people, and that's why I came up with iCreditHelp. This is the new thing that we'll be launching here soon. It's a blend of technology and
I've been trying
credit.
to get more information out of you. You're like,
yeah. We're just gonna.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool.
We're gonna keep it behind in the glass box.
I like
it. Emotion. But seriously though,
yeah, because you're making me want it, man. What's up? I need some iCredit.
What it means is you need help, and that's why we got this little first aid thing, and we like the way it looks. It's simple. It doesn't have to be difficult. Credit restoration, credit repair, credit recovery, but people they need some help, and I wanted to find a way to where I could help more people at a cheaper cost, all right, but still deliver outstanding service, stuff that the big box credit repair companies, they'll never do, because this cuts right at the bottom line. They want 24-month to 36-month enrollment times. Fine. It's America. Run your business the way it is, but we're helping consumers now. you know?
Yeah.
And so that's where iCreditHelp is focused on, is the consumer, giving as much real information as we can, plus great credit help. And that's just iCreditHelp, you know?
Yep.
So,
Someone,
huh?
go ahead.
What were you saying?
No, I mean, early on in the credit repair, when I got in credit repair, someone said it's a team game, and it's a team game, man.
Absolutely.
You got to get involved.
And you got to have
if it's your credit.
You got to make a decision if you're running a credit repair company. Do you want to help people right away, or do you want to just string it along? You know, and then there's reasons why companies do it that way, and there's reasons why companies don't do it that way. So, you know, we enroll about 100 people a month. We're not huge. We're not enrolling 1,500 people a month like the big guys, but there's a reason why we don't do it that way. We have a bigger plan, and that's where iCreditHelp comes in. So I'm super happy that you're in the studio today, and I look forward to doing this maybe once a month and talking about TurboPass and the development and where it's going.
Awesome.
So with that being said, this is another wrap for iCreditHelp. Isn't it time you got help?